All right, University of Birmingham Professor of International Politics, Scott Lucas, joins me now. Good to speak to you, Scott, on this very interesting hour in the UK. Has it come as a surprise to you, and what's your reaction?
I'm not surprised that it was going to happen. I'm surprised that it happened today. After all, only yesterday we had the European elections. We're going to get what I think is a likely shock of a result on Sunday, which will point to the fragmentation of British politics. I thought May would go next week when the scale of what is likely to be a serious defeat, not only for the Conservative Party, but quite likely a smaller but still significant defeat for the Labour Party starts to sink in. Why is she gone now? She couldn't hold the line anymore. From the start of her premiership, Theresa May tried to, well, she boxed herself in when she said that line you just heard, Brexit means Brexit, and no deal is better than a bad deal. And that meant in the end, she was caught between two options. One was either to go with a no deal, with all the economic damage it would cause. The other was finally to accept a customs union, which would have limited that economic damage, which would have eased the Irish question. In the end, she didn't choose either. She tried to maneuver between them, and there was no way to bring everything together, especially as we're seeing the Leave and Remain camps are becoming more polarized in this country.
Absolutely. And Scott, what do you think happens now if she's resigning on Friday, the 7th of June? What happens in this time and in that leadership contest? Who do you think will be the contenders and who could be the next British Prime Minister?
First of all, this is what's important. Nothing will be done regarding Brexit over the next few months. We could well come up to that October deadline, October 31st, with little movement and facing going over the cliff edge yet again. That will be reinforced if there is, say, a Boris Johnson, who is the favorite of Tory members to become prime minister, because he effectively is a no-dealer at this point. But most Tory MPs don't like Boris Johnson. That means that there's a question, will it be another hardline no-dealer or hardline Brexiter like Dominic Raab who will take over? Or will they still try to find someone who is more like May, someone like an Amber Rudd, a Saeed Javid? What that all means is we're going to have turmoil within the Conservative Party, and on the other side, the Labour Party, which has been indecisive behind Jeremy Corbyn. There could also be a challenge to his leadership there from those who say, look, we need to be serious now about firmly rejecting no deal and maintaining links with Europe. So with the two big parties in British politics declining and in turmoil, the European Union has to sit and put its hands up and say, will there ever be any way out of this circus?
And you mentioned Boris Johnson being a favourite, and you said that he isn't liked by Tory members, but he was one of the instigators of Brexit. Surely that could help Brexit come about faster.
But no one trusts Boris Johnson. Remember that when the referendum came through in 2016, which voted for leave, that should have been Boris Johnson's time. He would step up and he would lead us out of the EU, but he was paralyzed. He looked like a rabbit caught in the headlights. And people started to think, is he really serious about this? As a conservative former minister, Michael Heseltine, said, Boris Johnson is the type of guy who sees a crowd moving in one direction and then he charges to the front and says, follow me. Will he actually go to the front this time and exhibit leadership? Or will he be the type of person where MPs and many people across the British spectrum still say he's more a showboat rather than a politician who has substance?
OK, and we've been here before, haven't we, more or less, in British politics, Margaret Thatcher, John Major. Tell us, what happened there, very quickly, and how this is different.
I mean, the Conservative Party is well known for stabbing each other in the back and then coming forward with a leadership that says we're going to unite. This time is different. This party, which has dominated British politics, along with Labour for more than a century, is in disarray. And because of Brexit, it has a deep division that I don't think can be healed. I think you're going to look at a new type of British politics where there is no longer two parties, but several parties.
We'll have to leave it there. Professor Scott Lucas, thank you very much.